Hi, and congratulations on your 2022 Nissan Pathfinder SL Premium. This is an absolutely amazing vehicle. Nissan did a great job with the redesign on this, but you already know that because that's why you bought it. We're going to go over everything on this and what you get with it, and with the all-new drivetrain in this with a 3.5 liter V6, now with a 9-speed automatic transmission, 6,000 pound towing capacity. This is a phenomenal vehicle and such a smooth drive. Let's go over all the features that you get with your new Pathfinder. Make sure that you're familiar with it. And at the end, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call, text, email, or stop into O'Regan's Nissan at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And we'll do everything that we can to answer all your questions for you. Let's have a look at what you get with this amazing vehicle. Okay, we're going to start right here at the infotainment system. You've got a beautiful 9-inch full color touchscreen display here. As you can see here, when I go into my source for my audio sources, I've got AM, FM, satellite radio, which is going to be free for the first 3 months. After that, if you don't want it, don't do anything. It should just stop. If you do want it, just give them a call and it'll revert back to the preview channel, which is a toll-free number to contact them. USB 1 and 2, which are down here. So type 1, your USB 1 is a type C, so it's much faster charging. Your USB 2 is your type A, which is your traditional USB. And then we've also got Bluetooth, but what you don't see here is the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which also comes standard on this, and it's going to give you those as well once they've been connected. We're going to back out of here. We get back to our main menu. Everything is easy to operate. Also with this, you do get navigation. Very, very easy to use with free updates, and I do have a tutorial video on how to update the nav for free, either by Wi-Fi or USB. You can take your pick which one you want to go through. Very easy to use. We just go into destination, and if you know exactly where you're going, you can just hit street address. Either start with the state or province if you're going out of your own area, and then you can change the city or the house or street number depending on which one is easier to do for you. If you're just looking for points of interest, there's all kinds of things here. So if you want your local coffee shop that's close by, press the coffee shop. It's going to load them closest to furthest away. Simply hit the one that you're looking for. And then as soon as you do that, you can hit start.
The route calculation is complete. Proceed to the nearest road.
It's very easy, and it makes it really easy. Also, on the heads-up display, which we're going to get a better look at here in just a moment, it will give you your directions up there once you start to drive as well. So we're going to cancel out of here. Once we get over to the steering column, I'm going to show you how you can set that all by voice, because when you're driving, these gray out. It is a hazard to try and do that while you're driving, but I'll show you how to do it all by voice as well. If we go into settings, to hook up a phone, I just want to go into connections. You can see there's already one hooked up here. If you want to remove anything, press the I, press delete, and press yes. It takes a moment and then it'll be gone. From there, when you want to add a new phone, come in the settings, then connections, and press add new. You can see right there, once you go into your phone, you go into the settings and then the Bluetooth settings. You're looking for My Pathfinder. If you have an Apple phone, as soon as you tap on My Pathfinder, it's going to pop up with a number. Just confirm the number that's on the screen here to what's on your phone. Press pair, and then you're going to press allow once to allow it to sync up your address book. If you have an Android phone, there are a couple of extra steps that you're going to need to take. So with that, what you're going to do is you're going to press pair the same as you did. You're going to press allow twice. And then if you have a lock screen on your phone, you're going to need to go back to the main settings, scroll down to lock screen. From there, you're looking for smart lock. You're going to go in and you're going to add a trusted device. So you want to go into trusted devices and then add a trusted device. And you're going to add My Pathfinder. This way your phone stays connected even when your phone locks up. So we're going to cancel out of here and we're going to go back one. To set your clock on this, you shouldn't have to do anything because of the navigation system. Just make sure it's set for auto and it will do everything for you based on time zone and daylight savings time. So I'll come back out of here again. To update your navigation, as I mentioned, you can do it over Wi-Fi or USB, just following the same steps that I'm going through here. And then in system information and map update, you can see you've got either of those there. Follow the tutorial I've already got done on this. It'll save you a whole lot of time in trying to figure everything out, make it nice and easy for you. The fastest way to jump out of any of the settings is simply press either the audio menu or map button, and it'll take you right back. Now we're going to have a look at the backup camera that comes with this. So right here, I have my backup camera. I'm going to line up the wheel a little better there. And then I have a 360-degree round view monitor. So it's a full look all around the vehicle. It is a bird's eye view. No, there's no drone or anything. This is not the vehicle. I'm actually in a blue one, not a white one. But it does show me all around it. And as I mentioned, this shows me out the back. I have green, yellow, and red hash marks there for distance markers. And I'll start by saying, as long as you keep whatever is behind you above the red hash marks, you have room to safely open the hatch. As you're backing up, when whatever is behind you gets within the green hash marks, it will slowly start to beep at you. And the closer you get, the faster the beeping will get. Once you get down near those red hash marks, if you're still moving, it is going to fully apply the brakes for you about 1 to 1.5 feet away from whatever is behind you, just to avoid any type of a collision back there. So that's your rear sonar and rear emergency features as part of your safety system. So we'll go back into park here. Down below, we have our dual climate control, except it's not dual, it's dual in the front. It is tri-zone, and I can turn the back on as well. I can control it from up here, or what we'll see later on is the controls in the back. I can see the temperature in the back is currently set for 18. In the front, it's synced, so I'm going to press that sync button one more time and sync all three up, because I'm the only one currently in the vehicle. I want the exact same temperature across the board. It's a little warm in here at the moment, so we're going to drop this right down to low for all of them. Typically what I recommend for this is find a temperature that you're comfortable with depending on the season. Press auto, and I'll do this in just a moment, but when I do that, this fan is going to crank right up because it's quite warm in the vehicle at the moment, and it's going to try and get me down to that temperature as fast as possible in the summer, or up to it as fast as possible in the winter. It'll automatically determine your fan speed and where your airflow is going to go. To manually set anything, your fan is right here and your airflow is here, as well as strictly up to the front, so that you can do that in a hurry. Rear defrost is also going to turn on my heated side mirrors to go with this. Heated seats are on the outside of my dials here, and there are 3 settings to this now: high, medium, and low, as well as a heated steering wheel right here. So if I set this for auto, we'll see that it's going to crank up the fan. And then as soon as I manually adjust something, auto turns off, but sync is still done at the moment. So this way it'll do what it has to get you to your temperature as fast as possible. For the purposes of this video and being able to hear me, I'm going to turn the fan down to low. Our gear shift, this is much different. This is very similar to what's in the new Rogue. It's a shift by wire. So as a result of that, there is some storage in underneath here. Great spot to put a purse if you carry a purse with you. If not, not a big deal. To get into drive, all I got to do is shift down, and I'm now in drive, and I can see it's lit up here and it shows me up here on my dash. It's very easy to do that. Now, depending on the situation, if during the winter here in Canada you're coming down a large hill and you don't want to be tapping on the brakes, if I shift to drive again, I now see I have manual shifting to go with the paddle shifters that are on my steering wheel. Once you get down, just do it one more time, and then we're back to drive again. Because I'm down, to get to neutral, I need to go forward a half a click and hold. I'm now in neutral. Or to get to reverse, I need to squeeze this side button when I push all the way forward. And as I can see, I'm definitely in reverse. For park, I'm going to push the park button. So basically the thing to remember here is, for drive, pull it towards you for the drive. For reverse, push it up towards the reverse on the steering column. For neutral, if I'm in park, either one up or one down will get me there. If I'm already down in drive, I need to go up towards the neutral. If I'm already in reverse, I need to come down towards the neutral to make that work. My parking brake is an electronic parking brake, which I do have down here. So all I got to do is lift up on that, and that engages the parking brake. Also shows me up here that it's lit up. To disengage it, my foot does need to be on the brake and then push down, and I can see that it goes out. Auto hold is a neat little feature. You do need to be buckled up for this to work, and then into drive. Once you do, up here on your dash, you're going to find a circle with the word hold underneath it and the letter A inside of it. And then with that, when you come to a full complete stop, it's going to turn from white to green. When the green hits, you can take your foot right off the brake and relax. The brakes are held on for you. As soon as you touch that gas, it's going to release that brake and off you go. Now we can see here the Pathfinder this year is now equipped with our auto off feature, so that when you pull up to a red light or come to a full stop for construction or drive through, whatever the case, the motor will turn off temporarily. And then again, as soon as you touch that gas, you're instantly back on and moving. You can turn that feature off just using this button here, and I can see that it's off, or I can turn it back on manually right there. There is a wireless charging pad in this. So when I put a phone in here, this is going to light up a solid yellow. As long as that's a solid yellow, my phone is charging. If it's blinking or stops, you're no longer charging. My drive mode selector is here. Now by default, I'm in the top mode here, which is normal. That's your auto. And it shows me right up here beside my park indicator, auto. My next one over to the right is my eco mode. And then I have sport mode here. Tow mode is down on the bottom here. And you want to make sure that you're using this if you're towing anything. You have a 6,000 pound towing capacity, but this is really going to gear this Pathfinder up to be able to do that towing for you. So we're going to come back up and around. On the left, I've got snow mode. This is going to kick in your all-wheel drive sooner and hold it in a lot longer for you. And then I've got mud on this side here, and I've got sand down here. So depending on the circumstances that you're in, that will put you into a mode where it will allow those front wheels to slip a little bit before it kicks in. And then each of those is going to hold them for different lengths in the all-wheel drive, but it will hold it a whole lot longer. And then right here, I've got hill descent assist, that when I turn that on, I do see a light flashing up on the dash here. What that's going to do is help prevent you from picking up a bunch of speed coming down a hill. Really great, especially in tow mode, but doesn't have to be used just in tow mode. Now, whenever I change my dial, I can see it right up here so that I'm not trying to figure out what's going on. Here on my steering wheel, we're going to have a look at the controls here. So on this side, I've got my cruise control. Now, one of the great things with this new redesign, on top of adding in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, we've also added in, with the adaptive cruise control, we've got ProPilot Assist. So I'm going to hit this button right here to turn on my cruise. You can see initially here, it's going to jump to this screen, which is for the safety features. We'll get to that in just a moment. And then it flips over to show you the distance set for the adaptive cruise, which I can adjust right here. So by doing so, when you first pick up the vehicle, by default, it's set for 3 car lengths plus safe distance. You can reset it to 2 or 1. 1 car length plus safe distance while doing 100 kilometers an hour is approximately 2.5 car lengths between you and the vehicle in front of you. If you just want normal cruise, press and hold that blue button and it flips over to just normal cruise. No ProPilot, no adaptive cruise, just normal cruise. So we're going to come back down here, because on the steering column here, I've got my Bluetooth buttons. To answer a call or hang up, I'm going to press this button here. For an outbound call, I'm going to use this button here. Also, if you have Google Assistant or Siri on your phone, a press and hold of that for 2 seconds will access that system, as opposed to Nissan's voice recognition system. Next up over on this side, we've got our volume for our radio right here. So if I show my radio here, I can set the volume, which is an absolutely wicked system with the Bose Premium sound system already on this vehicle. These 2 buttons here are going to go through my presets. So I'm going to set on preset 1 here. And then using my left and right arrows, I can go across to the presets, or I can come back the other way. Either way works. If you're streaming through Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto, that's going to skip tracks for you. This button here just gives me the option to change some of the displays that are listed, to which I'm going to back out of there because I want to have a look at the OK button with the arrows around it. So this right here is our home screen. I have a digital speedometer, a compass, as well as my radio info. If I move across to the right, this screen, and there are a couple of these, you can see I have up and down arrows over here, meaning that I have multiple screens available here. This particular screen will reset every time that you refuel the vehicle. If I scroll down, I can see my fuel economy. It's running quite high. There's my average speed as well as the digital speedometer, but my fuel economy is running high because It's gone 382 kilometers in 6 hours and 54 minutes. If I just press the OK button once, I get to a manual reset. This one I can track it for as long as I want. It will not reset when I refuel, but if I want to reset it, I'm just going to press and hold the OK button. And then I'm going to say all items and yes, and it resets everything. If I go to manual reset 2 and press and hold, I can go down and reset just one item. And I can pick and choose which item I want to set, or like the last screen, I can do them all. We're going to put it back to the auto refuel. We're going to go one screen to the right. This screen is going to show me when I'm in front wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive. And again, I've got that little up and down arrow right over there. Means I can scroll down to the next screen, and I have a tire pressure monitoring system here that will show me everything once I start to drive. And then this screen right here, this is really neat. With the auto off feature that will turn the engine off when you come to a stop sign, this screen will actually allow you to see how long in total this has done this and how much fuel you have saved as a result of it. Really neat feature that allows you to track it to see. Maybe some people don't like it and they just turn it off, but for those that do, you can really see the benefits of it. Our next screen over to the right is for our navigation. Now, with nothing set in the navigation, right now, it's just going to look like this. The moment you set something, this is going to change to an arrow going either straight up to your destination, up to the left or up to the right, depending on your next turn, and it'll count down the distance for you. Next screen over is our radio info, and from this screen, I have full control of everything to do with my audio, all with the push of my thumb while I'm driving. So we already saw how I can increase or decrease the volume and go through my presets, but if I press that OK dial, I now have the ability to select the source of my audio without having to do anything at all. Next screen over is related to my safety shield. So this first one is on the adaptive cruise, and because my cruise is not set, there's nothing here. So let's turn this back on so that we can see. And again, it's going to pop up to the screen. Every time you turn your cruise on, it will default over here. You can simply go back a couple screens to the right to get back to the main menu or whichever one you want. And then if I scroll down, the next thing that we see is speed limit sign. So every time you pass by a speed limit sign, it is going to post it down here as well as up here. It'll show you the exact speed limit so that you always know what the speed limit is in case you miss the sign itself. And then our next one is for all our safety features. Now, our full safety suite is on every trim level of the Pathfinder. That means that you have forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking and pedestrian detection. Your forward collision warning is something that you will experience. With that, you could be driving down the road at 50 kilometers an hour and the car up ahead of you is turning onto a side street, rounding that turn at about 10 kilometers an hour. And once the radar in the front of the Pathfinder gets within range, it will pick up the fact that that car is going slower than what you are, and therefore it will beep at you and flash a warning on the screen here on the inside, letting you know that unless circumstances change, there is a risk of a collision. The automatic emergency braking will be the next steps in that process. So if that car hit the brakes or the car in front of you slammed on the brakes, inside the vehicle here, it will beep at you. It'll flash a warning on that screen. The gas pedal will push back against your foot a little bit. And if needed, it will start to apply the brakes for you if you don't get to the brake fast enough. And that's to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. In that scenario, the moment that you are on the brakes, that entire system turns off because you are in total control of the vehicle. You'll also have lane departure warning, which as you start to drift out of your lane, if you're not signaling, it is going to vibrate your steering wheel for you. It's like hitting the rumble strips on the side of the highway, and it does so to let you know that you are drifting out of your lane. Blind spot indicators are located out here on the mirror. They will light up and stay lit up a dull orange as long as part of a vehicle is in your blind spot, and there's one on each mirror. While that's lit up, so let's say, for example, my driver's side indicator is lit up, and while that's lit up, I signal to go left. That indicator is now going to start to flash, and it will beep at me inside the vehicle here. Now, you also have blind spot intervention. So while that's flashing and it beeps, if I still try and move left anyway, it is very subtly going to tap the right side brakes to try and pull me back over into my lane because there is something in my blind spot. Your rear cross traffic detection, which is for when you're backing out of a parking spot, if there's anything coming at you from either side, From within about 2 car lengths, it will beep at you inside the vehicle to let you know, hey, there's something coming at you. But whichever side of the vehicle it's coming at you from, the blind spot indicator on that side of the vehicle will be flashing to let you know. And as I mentioned earlier, you do have rear sonar and rear emergency braking, and they do work exactly as I described while we were looking at the backup camera. Our next screen over here is our settings. Now, we do encourage you, don't be afraid to play with the settings. Simply press OK. You can go down through all the settings. Your driver assistance is all right here. And you can see everything should be turned on by default when you pick up your vehicle. If you're going to be doing any kind of towing, you want to make sure that the rear sonar and rear emergency braking are turned off. That way it is not beeping at you with the trailer on the back or preventing you from backing up. Very easy to turn that stuff off right from there. And then my parking aids is where my rear sonar is going to be located, so I can turn that one off as well. They will turn back on by default after you've turned the vehicle off and then back on, so keep that in mind if you've still got anything hooked up back there, whether it's a trailer or a bike rack or anything else. As I come back out of here, I'm going to go down and look at my vehicle settings. I want to come down to locking, and I want to make sure that this is set for shift to park instead of power off. By default, Nissan vehicles will automatically unlock your doors for you when you turn the vehicle off. I typically set this to shift to park so that the moment you shift into park, it will unlock the vehicle for you. That way you're not fumbling around trying to find the unlock button to let somebody out. And then from there, I want to make sure that my wipers are set for speed dependent. That way, when they're on intermittent, the faster I go, the shorter the delay will be. And lastly, but certainly not least, we want to go into customize settings in the main menu. All of these are turned on except for one. The very second one down is just a blank screen. I traditionally turn that off. That way, there's no risk of getting onto a blank screen and then not knowing how to get back off of it. Now, I am going to move this vehicle forward a little bit because I do want it to be easier to see this heads-up display. So I'm going to put it on the back of this brand new Frontier that's in front of me. And hopefully we can see that display there. So I have a digital speedometer right over here. As I pass by a speed limit sign, it will post that right below there. Just to the left of that, I can see my adaptive cruise information, and I'll reset the distance there so that you can see what's going on. And then over to the left of that on the heads-up display is where your navigation information will show up once you have it set. So it makes it really easy. If I want to turn that off, I can simply push this button here and it turns it all off, and then push it again to turn it back on. That one will not come back on its own. You have to turn it off and on manually in order to work that. Now with your adaptive cruise control, we talked about how you can set a distance of 1, 2, or 3 car lengths plus safe distance. I also mentioned that we do have ProPilot Assist. ProPilot Assist, when your adaptive cruise is set and the speed is set, which it will show you up here, all of this is going to light up green and you will hear an audible sound as well as feel the wheel moving a little bit in your hands. This is going to use the camera up and behind the rear view mirror here to read the lines on either side of you and help steer the vehicle with you. I do have a whole tutorial on that as well, just to show you the full range of what's available with it. We have an auto dimming rear view mirror with HomeLink on it, so you can set up to 3 garage door openers on it. To do so, make sure you have your garage door opener in hand, push the button on that, and while you're pushing it, push whichever door button you want to set it for. This light is going to turn red and start flashing. It's either going to be slow or fast. I don't recall which off the top of my head, but when it switches to the opposite, so if it's flashing fast and then switches to slow, or vice versa, that means that your garage door opener is set. Let go of both buttons, and then your door up here will work perfectly with it. We also have a panoramic moonroof up here. So the right side is for my shade, and if I push that, it's going to go the rest of the way back. Now, anytime you hit it, it's only going to go as far as this stanchion here on its own. So if I close it, it'll stop right at that centerpiece. And then I just push the button again to close it the rest of the way. I can stop it anywhere along the way. We're going to open that the rest of the way. My other button over here is for my roof. So if I just push up on the button, it does vent it for me. And then if I push forward on that same button, it will close it. If I push back on the button, it's going to open. And again, I can stop it anywhere along the way simply by hitting the button again and push forward to close it again. Great features all along here. Now in the back seat here, a few things to show you. First off, easy access to the rear seats simply by pushing this button. And everything maneuvers out of the way to give you quick, easy access into those back seats where there is a ton of room back there. I'll put the seat back up just so that you can see. There's lots of room there. And then I simply push that back, and there is a bar under the front that I can slide the seat to adjust legroom for your passengers in the middle as well as in the back. Here on the side, this is my climate control settings for the back here. So temperature currently set for low, and you can see it is synced with the front, but I can adjust it back here. I can adjust my fan speed. I can adjust where my airflow is going to go. I can even turn it off. And there are heated seats for this middle row right here as well. And just like in the front, we do have an auto function, which I'm going to set for the back here. There are window shades in this, which is really neat. Simply just pull up on this and hook it in place, and you're all good to go. When you're done, unhook it and let it go back down in. Now, like all of our other vehicles, we do have an intelligent key system with this. However, it is a little bit different with the Pathfinder. It's just proximity here on the end to lock it. Put my hand inside the handle to open it back up. And around the back here, you do have a power lift gate, which opens extremely fast. I can hit the button just in underneath here, or kick motion activation does the exact same thing, and I've got access to do it from the key fob itself. Once in the back, I do have additional storage in underneath here, and I've got my buttons to close, or I can close and lock it all at once. So I simply push that and walk away, and it will close it just as fast as it opened. With your driver's seat being a power driver's seat, we do have memory seats involved with this as well, and this ties into the driver's seat as well as the side mirrors. So get your seat and the mirrors set where you want them. Come in here, press set, and whichever driver number you're going to be, it will set it. It's going to take you about a week to get this into your sweet spot, so every time that you do adjust it, do the same thing again, just set and then seat whatever. Once it's fully set, if someone else has been driving and moved everything on you, simply push your seat number and your side mirrors and seat will all go back to the previous position that they were in. One of the last things I want to go over here is our key fob. Now, because it is a fob, it does have a battery inside. Those batteries are typically good for 2 to 4 years. And when it comes time for replacement, you can do it at your local Nissan store, or you can do it yourself. If your battery starts to get low, the first indication that you're going to have is it will pop up here and tell you incorrect key ID. Don't worry about that. Let the message go away. Try and start it again. It should work. If you hit the point where you either can't get into the vehicle or the vehicle won't start, on the back, there's a little switch. There is a key for the driver's side door to get you into the vehicle. Once you get in, with your foot on the brake, use the key fob to push the start button in. It will still start your vehicle even if this battery is dead. On your key fob, you've got your panic button, your button to open or close the hatch, which as we saw, you can do from outside as well, or from the inside of the vehicle as long as you're in park. Unlock, lock, and you have remote start. And to work your remote start, you're going to press the lock button twice and then press and hold this top button for 5 full seconds. So count to 5 Mississippis, and that will get your remote started from up to 200 feet away. From there, it's going to run for up to 10 minutes. When you get in the vehicle, you do still need to engage the vehicle. So foot on the brake, push the start button, the exact same as starting it. You can remote start your vehicle twice without ever getting in, or once with an extension, and to extend it, just do the exact same thing and it'll add an additional 10 minutes to the count from wherever you're at. Once it's been extended, so if you've done it at the 2-minute mark, you're going to get 12 minutes total. If you wait till the 8 or 9 minute mark and you do it, you'll get to 18 or 19 minutes total. If you decide you're not going anywhere, simply press and hold the top button for 2 seconds. It will turn it back off. You can do 2 remote starts or 1 remote start with an extension without ever getting in, but once you do that, you do need to get up to 30 kilometers an hour in the vehicle in order to reset it. Congratulations again on your 2022 Nissan Pathfinder SL Premium. This is an unbelievable vehicle, ton of features on this, amazing drive. I know you're going to love it. If you still have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call, text, or email me, or stop into O'Regan's Nissan at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and we'll do everything that we can to help answer all your questions. In the meantime, enjoy your new vehicle, and we'll see you when you're in for your regular service appointments every 16,000 kilometers or when your vehicle tells you, or once a year. We do recommend following the service guide, which is in section 9 of the owner's manual. It recommends every 8,000 kilometers or every 6 months. There's a lot more that gets done during those appointments than just an oil change. But I hope you enjoy your new vehicle, and we'll talk to you soon.